Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. It's Tuesday, October 26th. There's a $10,000 grant that's closing today. I'll tell you about a couple other grant programs, including for restaurants and other types of businesses. A quick EIDL update. We have new survey data on who's been approved, who's still waiting, and finally a new update on the $2 trillion social policy package. There's something that came up today that has lawmakers running around trying to save this deal and get it passed by the end of the week. I'll keep today's video short. Thanks for tuning in and liking this video. Join our community, hit subscribe, turn on the alerts to see our daily videos. And just a 10-second plug today. If you want personalized funding help, we have a few spots tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Join the thousands of others that have already gotten direct help from us. We've collectively helped people get over $200 million combined in small business funding, includes EIDL loans, other private low-interest capital options, state and local grants, and so much more. If you use the link at the top of the description, you'll skip the queue of over 4,000 people or go to eidl.me. Okay, we just put up this poll an hour ago, already over 200 votes, so I feel like I can share some of this data. Are you waiting on an EIDL loan increase or reconsideration? We've typically done these polls every couple weeks, but haven't done one in a few weeks. So we were curious who's still waiting and who's all set. Well, the numbers speak for themselves. 3/4 of all folks so far, still early in the voting, are still waiting for EIDL funding, whether that's an increase, reconsideration, initial funding. 24% say no, they're all set with SBA EIDL funding. If you want to chime in after you subscribe, go to the community tab. Already a handful of great comments. Tomorrow I'll share the final results. But the point is, if you're waiting for EIDL funding, you're not alone. Majority of folks tuning in are in the same boat. By the way, we have a new post up today on how to calculate your cost of goods sold. That's on the Skip app and website. We go over what is cost of goods sold, why is COGS an important calculation, and what are some examples of COGS, and which businesses do not have COGS. And we go over some more scenarios there, so go take a look at that. Before I share the $10,000 grants that's closing and a couple other grant programs, the quick update here, the Billionaire Tax. This is the new proposal that would help fund the $2 trillion social policy package. Democrats are scrambling to try to get this passed by the end of this week before Biden goes to Europe and before some transportation funding lapses at the end of the month, because they want to also pass the infrastructure bill right after agreeing to the social policy package. But here's the problem. The latest proposal was we're going to tax billionaires. There's less than 1,000 billionaires in the US, and that was how Democrats proposed they would close the gap and have this bill pay for itself. However, legal obstacles loom for Democrats' proposal. Here's Nancy Pelosi today at the Capitol. She said they're on the verge of something major. However, they're still scrambling today to determine how to pay for their sprawling spending plan, as lawmakers express growing doubts about the feasibility of the new tax on billionaires. So here's the likely argument: taxing capital gains that haven't been realized falls outside of income taxes allowed by the 16th Amendment that don't have to be apportioned based on state population. Under current law, individuals pay capital gains taxes only when the gain is realized, typically when they sell an asset such as a stock, closely held business, or painting. So legal scholars are back and forth on whether this should be constitutional or not. What this article says is there would certainly be challenges, and then a question would be, how would the Supreme Court rule? Because this would obviously mean that the billionaires would be paying billions of dollars in taxes. Senator Wyden proposed this, so it's called the Widened Plan. This would impose a one-time tax on unrealized gains to date, and then create an annual tax on each billionaire's gain in net worth. Elon Musk chimed in with some criticism for this reason here. Someone put up a template to respond to lawmakers. Let me read to you the important point that I think a lot of you may bring up. Although the proposal targets billionaires, that's a very small number, and not myself, the person who made this tweet, the government of elected representatives have a track record of scope creep when writing new taxes. I anticipate that any new unrealized capital gain taxes will slowly make their way down to middle-class retirement investments over the next several years. It will start with billionaires, then eventually millionaires, then the modest investments will get hit, possibly within a decade. So that's the fear here. And Elon Musk replied and said, exactly, eventually they run out of other people's money and then they come for you. So the point is, after taxing billionaires' unrealized capital gains, things may continue. And VC David Sachs replied to this saying, when Wyden introduced this proposal in 2019, it also applied to millionaires as well as billionaires. So some things to think about, and that's why this is getting a lot of attention today as this tax plan remains in flux. Joe Manchin doesn't like this idea, and he doesn't like the idea that banks will have to provide account information to the IRS. So continuing our series, what does Joe Manchin think? With respect to banks having to provide customer account information for transactions over $10,000, originally it was over $600, banks would have to report those transactions to the IRS as a way to catch tax cheats and recover funds. Manchin calls this idea, quote, screwed up, and banks handing over account information to the IRS is a non-starter for him. So those are a couple of the ways Democrats are trying to get the money to pay for this bill. We'll keep you posted there. First grant that's closing today, NAV's $10,000 small business grant, up to $10,000 to take your business to the next level. Submit your entries between September 21st and October 26th. You can click apply now. I'll leave the link right in the description. It's a fairly straightforward form. They want you to become a NAV customer or sign up for a free NAV account. They say, yes, it's really free. Put in your name, business information, and then submit. And there's more information and tips here on how to successfully apply. They'll select and notify finalists in November, and they'll announce winners in December and reopen to new applications. So if you're watching this after October 26th, don't worry, check it out now because there'll be a new round, it sounds like, in December as well. They don't say how many they're going to give out, but NAV has been doing it for a while. Okay, also up, and this is on our app for Skip Plus users, but I'll mention to you now because you're watching and hopefully you're a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. $50,000 grants for restaurants in select cities. The all-day campaign grant will award grants ranging from $5K to $50K to the first 500 small restaurants that apply in Boston, New York, Chicago, Philly, Baltimore, Portland, Denver. There's probably a few more, but if you're a restaurant, check that out. Consider applying ASAP. There's 25,000 grants for women of color. Hello Alice and Project Entrepreneur by UBS have partnered on this. There's a few other state and local grants as well. The $10,000 one from NAB is the one I mainly wanted to call your attention to today, as well as give you an update on EIDL land. 30 more votes since the beginning of this video. Proportions are staying the same. 76% of you are still waiting for SBA funding. Plus, there's the update on the social policy package, how they're going to pay for it, and what Joe Manchin is thinking. I'll keep you posted there. Thanks for supporting our entire team by subscribing, liking this video, checking out our app, and of course, if you want personalized help, using the link in the description or going to eidl.me. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.